You're going to want to make this absolutely delicious spaghetti with fresh tomatoes, not sauce, from a recipe I found in Stanley Tucci's cookbook. Welcome to Lawyer in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make spaghetti with fresh tomatoes, not a sauce, fresh tomatoes. This has just very, very few ingredients, but this is incredibly tasty. Okay, first of all, I call it spaghetti, but I'm going to use angel hair. You can use spaghetti or fettuccine. 8 tomatoes, very ripe, some basil, salt, 1 clove of garlic, some balsamic vinegar, and some olive oil. That is it. That's all there is to this. The only cooking you have is the spaghetti. That's all there is to this. This is a fantastic dish, and I found this in Stanley Tucci's book that I just got. So this is a book by Stanley Tucci, who, by the way, I love to watch. He's a great actor, and he's apparently also a pretty good cook. He and his family, and this is several recipes. They're obviously all Italian, and I'm trying this one today. We tried it last night, and this is actually unbelievably good for being unbelievably simple. Now, this is essentially a marinated tomato base because we're going to put these tomatoes, we're going to cut them into little pieces, chunks, and you can do these any way you want. And there's just no rhyme or reason to this. As you can see, just want to be bite-sized. We got about the equivalent of 6 or so leaves. I'm going to cut these up.
Now we can grow basil.
We can grow the heck out of basil.
We cannot grow tomatoes. We can grow basil.
We got basil. We got basil growing in rocks in places where we don't want anything growing. That's pretty good right there. All right, so we're looking for about 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. And that looks good right there. And this is the best balsamic vinegar I've ever had in my life. This is actually from Italy. So we want a teaspoon of that, and that's about right. That stuff's incredible. We want to cut the garlic up. I'm going to cut this in quarters, and okay, so that's a little more than quarters, but that's okay. And then I'm going to get a spoon, and we're going to mix this up. All right, I'm going to put a little more olive oil in there.
Can never have too much olive oil.
No, and this is good olive oil, I think.
I think so too.
Very good. All right, so let's start the clock. 15 minutes, just like this. It's just going to sit. This is essentially marinating, and this is the sauce. I mean, this is the sauce. Fresh tomatoes. All right, it's been 15 full minutes. I'll tell you what. I wish you could smell this because the basil in here and the garlic. I mean, this is already fantastic. We're going to put some salt in here, and we're going to let it sit for another 10 minutes, and just a little bit more. Now I'll mix that in. That'll help draw out some of the moisture from the tomatoes. And this is already looking fantastic. It smells great. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And if you comment, I will respond to your comments. And if you make this dish or any other dish that I cook, send me a photo and I may put it in one of my videos. Tomatoes were introduced to the Italians by the Spanish somewhere between the 16th and 17th century. Some say tomato sauce with spaghetti, that combination, goes back to the 1800s in Naples, Italy. But it appears to be earlier that tomatoes, usually a sauce, were referenced in a cookbook called La Scalco Moderna, or The Modern Steward, in 1692 by Italian chef Antonio Latini. And then there was another book in 1790. So it appears tomatoes or tomato sauce with spaghetti was well before the 1800s. It's been about 5 or 6 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and start our water. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of salt and a little bit of oil. And some people say not to put oil in here because the spaghetti won't, or the pasta won't hold the sauce. But I don't think that applies to this sauce at all, number one. Number two, I don't think it's going to stop it from coating the spaghetti anyhow. So we're still going to do that. And you always add salt. Now, if it's fresh pasta, you want to put in less salt because fresh pasta will absorb the salt much more than this dry pasta. But as soon as this is hot, we'll put our...
You say hot. Do we bring this to a boil?
We're going to bring this to a boil.
Okay.
Absolutely bring this to a boil. Yeah. The water was already hot, so it shouldn't take too long to do that. And then it's not going to take about 2 or 3 minutes to cook this angel hair because it's very, very fine. So our water is boiling, and I'm going to put the angel hair in now. And we're just going to dump it in just like that. Some people break it. Don't do that. Just let it go in on its own.
The whole box.
The whole box.
All right.
It'll be just fine. As it softens, it'll all get in there. Meanwhile, we got a full, really about 15 minutes on this. I'm gonna stir this up one more time while we're sitting here or standing here. Look at that. That stuff looks fantastic. Can you smell it? It smells so good. Yeah, that's gonna be great. That's it. She's done.
Where did that piece go?
Oh, it's down on the floor.
It's on the floor. That's where everything ends up.
It's where it all ends up. Okay, so we're gonna strain it.
We're straining it.
Okay, a little bit of olive oil in here. We're gonna mix it up. And we're ready, just about ready to make this. That is done, and look at that, isn't that nice? I'm gonna put a little bit of this in the bottom of the plate,
First. That is so good.
and just so I can sit it on the top. Oh, well, I meant to turn it and twist it and do stuff so it looks cool, but I'm gonna put a little more. I'm happy with that. Put some more sauce on it. And then we're gonna put this right here. And that
Oh, that smells so good.
is spaghetti with fresh tomatoes. And this is going to taste great.
Okay.
All right, let's try this. I'm gonna get a tomato, some of that sauce that's with it. And the sauce is really just olive oil and balsamic. Oh my God. You know what? This is ridiculously simple and fast. You would never know this was that good. You would never know it until you make it. You gotta try it.
This is my favorite. This is one of my absolute favorite dishes that you make. It is that incredibly good.
Isn't that great?
Oh my gosh.
You gotta
Yeah.
try this at home. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time on Lawyer in the Kitchen.